graders. Okay, yesterday we started our unit on percents. And we looked at how to write percents, how to change percents, and how to make them into a fraction out of 100. Today we're going to be looking at how do you make percents from fractions. So you're going to be given a fraction and you have to turn it into a percent. Let's start with a fraction over 100. So if I had a fraction like this, 5 out of 100, I know that the word percent means per 100. So this says 5 per 100. So I would just turn this into a percent by taking the 5 and adding a percent sign to it, because it really is saying per 100. So 100 is our whole, and we know 100 is our percentage. So when we write this, we're just writing 5 out of 100 is equal to 5%. Okay, let's do one though that is not in a, that's not already out of 100. Okay, so let's do one that's not already out of 100. Let's say that I have example B. And example B says 3 out of 50. 3 out of 50. So our job is to get the bottom denominator to 100. So we're going to use our, what we know about creating equivalent fractions. We know that we can make equivalent fractions with multiplication when we look back in our notes by just multiplying by a number to get that denominator. So if we want a denominator of 100 and we need to fill in what goes here, we're going to figure out what did we multiply 50 by to get to 100. Well, I know that 100 divided by 50 is 2. So 50 times 2, and up here on the top, that means I need to multiply by 2. So the change is caused by multiplying by 2 over 2. So 3 times 2 equals 6. Now I have a fraction out of 100, and I know that 6 over 100 is the same thing as saying 6%. So I can make percentages out of equivalent fractions just by putting it over 100 and writing 6%. Okay, let's look at example C. Example C. Example C says, what does it say? Oh, it says 1 out of 10. Okay, so I know I need a denominator out of 100. So how do I get 10 to 100? What do I have to multiply by? Well, I know that 10 times 10 is 100. So if I put my fraction here and multiply by 10, so I have 10 over 10. 1 times 10 is 10. So this equals 10%. So you can turn fractions into percentages just by making sure that the bottom number is out of 100. So as long as that denominator is out of 100, you will be able to get it to a percentage. Okay, it is you to do a try it. Actually, I want to do one more example. That's like a story type problem. Okay, so let's do one more example before we do a try it. Let's say that 12 out of 20 customers buy tissue. What percent buy tissue? So what percent of customers are buying tissues? Well, 12 out of 20, we know that that clue word right there, if we look back into our clues for ratio, when we did ratios and percentages, if we look back and look for those, we know that this signals to us that we need to make a fraction. So 12 out of 20 buy tissue. We need a percentage out of 100. So how many buy tissue? What percentage of customers are buying Kleenex? Well, I know that 100 divided by 20 is 5, right? So 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. So my multiplier was times 5. So if I do 12 times 5, so I have 5 over 5, I can figure out what percentage goes right here. So 12 times 5, that's 10, carry the 1, 5 times 1, so 60. That means that 60% are buying Kleenex because 60 out of 100, the number on top, is our percent. All right, now it is time for you to do a try it. All right, your try it's. Try it number 1 says 31 over 50. So change 31 over 50 to a percent. And then try it number 2. Try it number 2. Try it number 2. Says 2 out of 25. Okay, go ahead and turn those into percentages for me. Hit pause so you don't hear me solving them. And then when you're ready, go ahead and hit play. All right, well, 50 times 2 gets me to 100. And so 31 times 2, I can do that over here. Oops. 31 times 2 is 2, 3 times 62. So 62 is my number over 100, so 62%. All right, next one. Okay, well, I know that there are 4 quarters in a dollar, and so if I have 25, I know that I'm going to be multiplying by 4 to get to 100. Okay, 25 times 4 is 100. 2 times 4 is 8. So my percentage is 8%. Okay, 6th graders, how did you do in today's lesson? Can you create fractions out of 100 and then turn it into a percentage? If so, go ahead and put a 3 in the box. If you need more practice with this, please put a 2. If you still have no idea what's happening, then you need to come back to the Google Meet and make sure that you are asking me for help. Okay, so answer your essential question and then put your rating into the box here. And as always, Cougars, I so appreciate all of your hard work and effort. And make it a great day the Cougar way.